Today we pay tribute to a man who is not only one of America's favorite entertainers, but is also one of America's most popular citizens. This morning we honor a 5-time Emmy recipient by dedicating a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame to Don Knotts. Don Knotts is one of the select few to successfully bridge the gap between television and motion pictures. And last November, Don became a published author when Berkeley Boulevard Books released Barney Fife and Other Characters I Have Known. Usually I bring Don up right at this point, but there's a fella here that knows him better than all of us, and I would like to invite him to come up at this time and say what he'd like to do, and then bring him on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Andy Griffith.
Standing right there. Kept us with good jokes all the time we had our show. Don Knotts and I have been friends for 45 years. Of course, we were 30 when we met, in our 30s, and it was the second day of rehearsal of a Broadway show called No Time for Sergeants. We hit it off right away. Of course, we're in our 70s now. But it's all right. Our show, the old Griffith show, has never been off the air in 40 years. And Don and I are very proud of it. We work together so well with Aaron Material. And we had the best scripts of anybody in town, I think. And I kind of forget what I'm going to say. Don and I were never very far from one another on the set. I remember the last day that Don was on the show. We shot the show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And we worked on the script on Thursdays, and Friday we rehearsed. But on Wednesday after the shoot, we had a little party for the crew. And on Don's last day, he and I were sitting there talking to one another. And after a while, we looked up, and the stage was empty. They all left and never made a sound. And Don went out one door, and I went out the other, and we said, let's call one another, and we did. We have all these years. So let me now just turn it over to Mr. Jesse Donald Knotts.
How about that? Hey, let's do it better than that. Ladies and gentlemen, the General Manager of TV Land, Larry Jones.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to take a moment just to say a few words to Don, on this great day. It's really a great honor and a privilege for TV Land to be able to bring the Andy Griffith Show to a whole new generation of fans of the Andy Griffith Show, as well as the people who grew up on that show from ever since it's been on the air initially. Your antics, Don, on the Andy Griffith Show as Deputy Barney Fife, opposite Andy Taylor, is the comedic duo that has and will continue to transcend the test of time. So on behalf of all of us in TV Land, I just wanted to thank Don for the millions and millions of laughs that he's given us over the years in television and in film. And through the power of television, your humor, your charm, your wit, and your grace have made you a man for all generations. So on behalf of TV Land and everyone else, thank you very, very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Ritter.
producers of Three's Company. What can you say about Don Knotts? He's been a puppet, a pirate, a pawn and a king. He's been up and down, and he knows one thing: comedy. I wore my Barney shirt in honor of him. I couldn't find my Ralph Furley underwear. Don Nickel, who is one of our wonderful producers on Three's Company, informed the cast that the Ropers would be going on to their own spin-off, which is a very successful show. I believe it's still running in Nome. And we said, who are you going to get to replace them? He said, well, nobody can really replace the two of them, so we're having to go another way with a new landlord named Mr. Wiggins, a British guy. I said, oh, that's interesting. He said, other than that, we'd like to make him sort of a ladies' man. And I said, well, what kind of a guy, and if you made him an American, would he be? He said, well, it would be sort of like a Don Knotts kind of a guy. I said, a Don Knotts kind of a guy? He said, yeah, we'd love to get Don Knotts, but I don't think we can afford him. But the thing is that I thought was so great when they finally said Don has agreed to do the show for free, was that the idea of saying, well, you're kind of a guy, and use the actor's name. There is only one person that can fill a moment and make you scream with laughter, and that's Don Knotts. There's nobody like him that I've ever seen. We were so scared of him because he was legendary when he came on board, and he was so kind to all of us. He was so generous, and he even watched the show twice before he took the job. But that's because he was surfing through and his remote stuck on our show. But the kind of comedy that they did together on the wonderful Andy Griffith show was a completely different kind of comedy than was done on Three's Company. It's sort of like painting with very, very broad strokes, and on our show, and then on the Andy Griffith show was more detailed and a subtler kind of comedy. Yes, we did mug our asses off, but that's a showbiz term. But anyway, Don was so much fun to work with every day, and not even the times that we were acting, but when Richard Klein and Don and I would go down for our Beat 12 shots from Juanita, the nymphomaniac nurse at CBS. Those were times that I just can't forget. Jenny Lee Harrison and Richard Klein is here, and I'm not sure. I think Joyce DeWitt is trying to get here, and Suzanne Summers is doing an interview across town. But other than that, I just have to tell you that we all love Don Knotts. There is nobody like him, and he is one of the greatest friends anybody could ever have. And I'm just so proud of him and so proud to be here. Donnie, I love ya!
Now therefore be it resolved that by the adoption of this resolution, the City Council of the City of Los Angeles, along with the Mayor, hereby join Council Member Jackie Goldberg in congratulating Don Knotts on the dedication of this richly deserved honor, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And that is from the city. As the ceremonial Mayor of Hollywood, I hereby proclaim this Don Knotts Day in Hollywood.
I see a lot of people here, so many people from all the old shows, and I'm so proud to be part of that group. And I just can't believe it. My own star right here on the boulevard. I'm going to come down here every morning and shine that sucker. I really am proud to have Andy Griffith and John Ritter and see Aaron Rubin out there and all these people. It's too much for me today, I tell you. I know when I first came to Hollywood, I remember a fellow came up to me and he said, listen, Don, he said, let me manage your career. I said, what? He said, I'll manage it. He said, you won't have to make a decision as long as you live. I said, that's great. What are you going to charge me? He said, I don't know. What do you think? But then I finally found a good manager, Sherwood Bash, and it's been really great. I want to thank Johnny Grant and the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce and Larry Jones and TV Land and all of you folks for coming out. I'm really touched and very moved and very proud. Thank you so much.
Don, in just a moment, we'll go down and unveil the star we'd like to invite. I just learned something, ladies and gentlemen. One of those TV stations is televising this live, so my remarks, this may be my last ceremony, so I hope you will give me a nice goodbye when I walk over there. Let's go do it.